Hello, Texas government students. I hope everyone is doing well today. Today is Friday, and this is your video upload, lecture upload for today. Now, students, I think everyone's getting settled in. Let me just recap a few things over the last 2 weeks. Congratulations, you've made it through the second week, and these 8-week sessions, they're moving by very quickly. And so please, thank you for your level of participation and engagement virtually. So thank you. So a few things today. I'm not going to keep you the full time. The full time is around 50 minutes. I may cut off around 30, but I will pack in a lot of information in this 30 minutes. So please take notes, okay? Please take notes so you won't have to rewatch anything. Let's be efficient with your time. So, students, you should have received a announcement today on Friday. Today is Friday, April the 4th, 2025, about your access to the second book that we've been challenged. There's been no access to this second book. So now you will go into, as the instructions said in the announcements, you'll go into the book Governance in America, blue cover, Governance in America. At the top page, you will see a tab to say ebook. You click on that tab and it'll take you to the Texas government book, chapters 14 through 24. That is the primary area for your reading, okay? So you now have access to the second book, which means catch up with your required reading. So now I need for you to go back to the syllabus, look at the weekly reading for the syllabus. It'll provide to you specific names of chapters within that second, I'm just calling it the second book, that you now have access to. So read those required chapters for week 1 and week 2. Now here's the key, students. You also have the pre-test. So the pre-test, and you've got to watch my videos sequentially, one after the other. I still have some students, unfortunately, you are not aware of how this course is designed, which means 95% of course instruction and material will be facilitated through these video uploads. I have students looking everywhere else in Brightspace, and you're wasting your time. And so that's why I ask you, log into Brightspace daily, read your announcements. 4 things you'll need to be successful in this class. It was initially 2, which are log in daily, read your announcements, and watch the videos timely. But I've got some students who are not starting basic, which is log in, read the announcements first. Then it will steer you. Go to the welcome video. Welcome video started day 1 of semester, March 24th of 2025. The welcome video contained inside of that video is your syllabus quiz. So I've got some students missing the design and you're frustrated. So students, now that we're all together, okay, you now know the expectations. I'm presuming that you've watched the sequence of videos. So today, Friday's video would be your 6th video that you're responsible for, and I believe it's 6. You remember we had the Monday holiday, and so I think we're at 6 students. So there were 3 videos the first week, and I think 3 videos this week. Okay. So students, let me recap. You now have access to the second book. So both books, Governance in America and Inside Texas Politics, which is your chapters 14 through 24. You have the due date for the analytical paper, and I'm going to spend some time in this video discussing that analytical paper assignment, which the due date for your draft analytical paper is quickly approaching. So after you watch this video today, you'll have clear instruction, because they've got some students asking the question, how do I proceed with this analytical paper assignment? So I'll provide clear instruction today. Monday, April the 7th is your first exam. Again, Monday, April the 7th is your first exam, which means if you're watching these videos sequentially in order, the last video that I uploaded was the pretest to prepare you for Monday. So now, students, you have all the tools you need to be successful on your first exam. You have the pretest and you have access to both textbooks. Now, just out of clarity, you will be tested first exam over the Constitution chapter and my lecture. Okay, so the questioning of your first exam is primarily the Constitution chapter and my lecture. So make sure that you are now reading both textbooks. Okay, so students, the second textbook you only require let me back up. The Governance in America textbook, as I mentioned, you're only required to read chapters 9 and 10. See the weekly required reading. Chapter 9 and 10 is toward the end of your 8 weeks, okay? So just be mindful. Now you have all the tools that you need to be successful. Any students who are looking in advance for discussion assignments, or what are future assignments, or are there any quizzes required beyond the syllabus quiz? The answer is no for chapter quizzes. Again, there's no chapter quizzes required in my course. The syllabus quiz is the only required quiz in this 8 week. I've had some students ask me, and they're trying to submit their discussion assignments. Hold, stop. I will provide in a lecture video, I will prompt you of when you will see the discussion forum. So just any students trying to race ahead or anticipate future assignments, just hold. I need students just to be crystal clear. Now that you have access to the second book, I need for you to focus in this order. First exam, now that you have the tools, proper tools, you have the pretest, which is a critical tool. You've watched that. When I say pretest, that's affiliated with the last video post, okay, lecture video post. You have the textbook and you have my prior lectures. You are only responsible for watching the lectures from March 24th of 25 forward. I may have referred you to watch one of my past videos. If you do not hear me direct you to watch a prior semester's video, you're not responsible for the volume of videos that's located in the video library. If you don't hear it from me, say go to this video, title X. You don't waste your time with watching the volume of those videos. So the starting point for this semester with watching videos for any stray students out there is March the 24th video, the welcome and introductory video, March 24th of 2025, okay? So just be clear, students. So now I think we're all clear with expectations, moving forward, what's required of the class, what are assignments due in this class. I need for you to focus moving forward from Friday, today, moving through next week, is I need for you to focus in on taking that first exam, and you students getting prepared, because you got to put in some work to get prepared to take that first exam. Tools for getting prepared: watch the pretest video, read the required chapters, primarily the Constitution chapter, and you would be required, of course, to watch past lectures starting from March 24th forward to today. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, that's approximately, I believe it's 6 videos. Okay, students, now I need to get off into a discussion about the analytical paper. Okay, so let me slow down the train a little bit, and I need for you to really listen. I don't even want you to start the analytical paper assignment until you've successfully utilize these 3 tools. The 3 tools are this. I need for you to go into my library and find one of the tools, my video library. Locate the video titled, the first video titled, and it's in the, you got to scroll down the past videos. Doesn't have a date, but the title says Analytical Paper Assignment Instructions. Analytical Paper Assignment Instructions. So, instructions and directions, I'm sorry. Analytical Paper Assignment Instructions and Direction. That's the title of the video. Watch that video, students. Second thing, go into the announcements. Scroll down. You will see an announcement called Analytical Paper Rubric. Read that document. Third tool, go back over to front page. You'll see the series of folders to the left side. Scroll all the way down to the bottom. You will see a folder titled Sample Analytical Paper. Now, when you read that document, I need for you to pay attention to one thing. That's how the paper is structured regarding the 3 required sections: problem section, issue areas, and solutions. Those terms, you underline them and bold them. Those are the 3 required sections, okay? Front page at the very top, place your name as a student, then the article's name, and you'll hear more once you watch the video. You'll know what article I'm referring to. And then you will start the first required section, which is the problem. Bold the term problem, that's your subheading. Second subheading is issue areas, bold that term. Third required subheading is solutions. So look at that document with an eye, because it's a poorly written document. Notice it's 1 page, but the actual assignment requires 2 full pages, single spaced. So when you look at that sample paper, once you get to that issue area section, please, students, notice that there are 5 required issue questions. Do not write paragraphs in the issue area section. I need for you to frame 5 questions only. Not 4, not 6, 5. You don't have to number them, just bullet them. I need for them to be single spaced. Okay? Students, when you watch that video, I'm echoing some of the things in the video now. You'll locate one article from a reputable newspaper source. You students, I'm not identifying the topic for you. You identify your own topic. It must relate to Texas government. So you'll read that one article, and then you'll sit that article down. And students, this is where the analytical piece starts of your thinking and the thought process, developing the analytical thought process. After you've read that article and sat it down, I need for you to think about what's not mentioned in that article. In other words, what did the author in the same topic area did not write about? And so I need for you to develop and frame. Framing is just how do you create a narrative of questions. Potential questions must start with how, why, when, should, if then, why, if that, why. And these are 2 different thoughts in one question. If this, why? If then, why? If this action, why? But you have to describe the type of action. You have to describe if this, describe the this, then why. Okay? So students learn how, this is an introduction to you learning how to frame provocative questions, very deep, profound questions. It's an art, it's a skill, it can be developed, and it's highly valuable. Okay? What this exercise is not, this assignment is not an APA style, it's not an English paper. Do not send a reference page to me. Do not have a conclusion paragraph at the end. Once you complete the final paragraph of the solution section, that's the 3rd section, then you stop writing. At that point, you should be at the end of your 2nd page. So now we've already touched on the problem. So notice in the sample paper, there is a paragraph in the problem section, but notice that there's a highlighted statement. That's your actual problem statement in the sample, just referring to the sample paper. Then you drop down to the issue section. That's the 2nd required section. 5 sentences. No paragraphs in the issue section. Then the final section are the solutions. Now the solution section, this is where most students are challenged. 100% of my students in this assignment, and I've been teaching this assignment students for the last 20 years, Dallas Baptist University, UTD, University of Phoenix, and also, of course, here at Dallas College at Eastfield. 100% of my students always get the problem area right in the section, problem section. About 90% of my students, about 90%, this over the last 20 years, they will frame good questions in the issue area section. But then once you get down to the solutions, normally about 40% of my students will get the solution section correct. So that's about 60% that's hanging out there that's really challenged with developing solutions. Well, let me teach you, students, how to develop the thought process for a solution. You remember, you've already identified your issue question. So you have 5 issue questions. That means you'll have 5 corresponding separate paragraphs describing your solution. So 5 and 5, 5 issue questions, 5 separate solution paragraphs. Do not write one long, continuous, bleeding paragraph. That's not what I'm looking for. Write 5 distinctly different solution paragraphs. So your first issue question, you don't have to be duplicative and repeat the issue question over in your solution paragraph. The reader will know. So your first solution paragraph will correspond with your first issue. Second solution paragraph must correspond with your second bulleted issue. Third solution paragraph must correspond with your third bulleted issue question. And so it's sequential. The reader's eye will flow, okay, if you write it to the standard that's required. From the rubric, sample paper, and then watch the video. In this case, students, you'll have 2 videos to watch with instruction. This video just to introduce the assignment to you, and then you must go to the 3 tools that I'm referring to, which also includes a video over in one of the tools. So now I want to spend a few minutes talking about your thought process logic to apply to build each solution paragraph. I need for you to do this, and you'll just be duplicative 5 times with the same thought process. I need for you to write essentially 5 sentences. Okay, so let's break down the sentences. First 2 sentences, go over to the issue question that you're referring to, and let's just start with your first issue question. You'll develop 2 sentences talking about the benefits of you addressing your issue question. Just discuss benefits. You own the question. You wrote the question. No AI, no plagiarism. That's your question that you frame. You remember that question did not come from your article, but that article stimulated your thinking to think about a potential question in which you develop and you own. So the question is, within your question, what are potential benefits to keep it positive to addressing your question? Just mention 2 sentences. Then the next 2 sentences, I want you to think about the implications, negative implications, a worsening condition if nothing is done to address that same issue question. In other words, nothing is done. No government action, no response, nothing. No funding created, no new laws, no legislation, nothing. Then how will the condition that you described in your issue question, how will it worsen? 2 sentences there. So now you're up to 4 sentences. 5th sentence, I need for you to use these terms at the end of each of your 5 paragraphs. So you'll have a sentence at the end of each of your 5 paragraphs. That'll be your 5th sentence. You'll start that sentence. Use these terms, students. Use these terms. A solution is, and then you, student, you fill in the blank. Be specific with your solution. Don't go all around in general talk. Write a specific solution. For example, if you would like a law change, a legislative change, you know the 4 L's, okay? A legislative change, a policy change in the state of Texas, you write in your ideas what you think that new law should be. And just in 1 sentence, what should the new law be and how will it benefit Texas? You frame it. No AI. You own it. The assignment requires 2 fully written pages. But I'm challenging you to pack a lot of thought within those 2 pages. Okay? So let me repeat. Building of each solution paragraph. 2 sentences of the benefits of addressing your issue question. If you want to go to 3 sentences, that's okay. You don't have to stop at 2, but the minimum is 2. Next point, 2 sentences, implications of doing nothing to address your issue question. 5th sentence is a solution is blank. You fill in the blank. Once you get to your 5th paragraph, stop writing. You should now be at the end, the bottom of your 2nd page. No need for a reference page. No need for citing anything. You wrote the document. No APA style required. This is not an English paper. This is you challenging your analytical and developing your analytical thinking process. Students, that's all that I have. I appreciate your patience today. I appreciate your patience over the course of the last 2 weeks. Now you're locked in and you know the design of this class. You know my expectations. You are crystal clear. Any fuzziness, gray area, or confusion that may have started because my course design is different. Most online, and I share with you up front, students, I'm not your traditional professor. I teach differently and challenge you differently through a design of where you must interact with these videos. If you do not interact with my videos, 95% of my instruction will come through these videos. If you do not watch them, if you're not aware of where the video folder is, you will be lost. I've got some students out there, I need to get you unlost, okay? So students, I'm signing off. It's 27 minutes. I did not plan to hit 30. And so I'm signing off. Take care. Have a great weekend. I've had several students send me emails. I think I've been responsive to 99% of you. If I've missed one, my apologies, but just don't hesitate to reach out, okay? If you have some gray or fuzzy areas. So students, I will upload this now. Take care. Have a great weekend. No lecture on Monday. No lecture on Monday. That is your exam day, okay? You can find your exam, top page of course, front page of course. You'll see activities. Just click on activities until you see quizzes. Once you get the quizzes, look for date specific because you'll see several exams in there from prior courses. Do not click the wrong exam. Be date specific. It will say Monday, April the 7th. You click the correct exam. Monday, April 7th, date specific. This video uploads and future videos I upload of my lectures, I will have date specific. It will be, you will see Friday's video, April the 4th, 2025. And it will basically be titled Instruction and Direction for the Next Week. Thank you for your attention. I'm signing off. Take care. Be safe. And students, you will not see another video from me until Wednesday of next week because I'm allowing time for Monday. You don't need to hear a video from me on Monday. That's your first exam day. So I need for you to focus in on the exam day. See you Wednesday, students, through another video. Take care.